Welcome back to the Mail-In Podcast. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday morning out there. I'm your host, Brett Merriman. To my right, the one and the only, not Sally DeFries. Today, we have intern Calli Rubin in the building. What is going on, Calli?
What's up? Happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us. Sally will be back next week, just having a sick day. So she's all good. She'll be back. Just had to switch out on the fly. That's why we have Calli in the building. Calli, what's up with you? What's new since you last appeared on the Mail-In Podcast?
Honestly, nothing much. Same old, school here, traveling a little bit, but
Sure, you were in Vegas last weekend.
I was in Vegas last weekend.
How was Las Vegas?
It was really, really fun. I had a great time. I feel like it's either like a hit or miss and guaranteed no sleep, but other than that, it was great.
Sure, you said you did 3 nights in Vegas. Is that
Yes.
correct? That's usually 2 nights in Vegas
Yeah,
is
it's a
kind of
little
the tipping point.
Yeah.
I put the over under at 2.5. 3 nights in Vegas can get aggressive.
I feel
Did
like
you
mine-
take full advantage?
So I feel like mine was 2.5 because we landed at like 10 p.m. and then just got to the hotel and kind of just like had a drink, went to
Okay,
bed.
that's a really good way to do the third
Yeah.
night then. Okay, so yeah, you did 2.5 nights in Vegas, which is
Right.
the perfect amount,
Yeah.
arguably. Same thing with New Orleans. What else is going on? What's new in the wash media world for intern Calli?
Been posting some blogs.
You have
Been
very
going
good
down
blogger.
that path. Thank you. Other than that, not much. Love coming in the office, seeing everyone here.
Mhm.
Same vibes. Yeah.
Good vibes all around. We enjoy having you here as well. But let's get into the podcast, shall we?
Let's do it.
We are the Mail-In Podcast. We answer your questions. We get a laugh in and maybe have you walk away with something useful. Help us out. Tell a friend about the podcast. Please send them a clip. Shouts to Adam doing the clips for the show. Subscribe on iTunes and follow on Spotify. Hit the hotline number 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast. Please hit up the new store, washmedia.shop, and look at our lovely faces on YouTube. YouTube.com/Mail-In Podcast. That's a Randy joint. Has Randy told you about the algorithm on YouTube?
Not yet.
Randy, what is the algorithm?
Is math.
So we split our videos up into multiple channels because math.
Because math.
Is that
Yeah.
do I have that correct?
Correct.
Thank you, Randy. Let's jump right into this one, Calli. Here's the question. Friendsgiving is coming up, you guys. Sure is. And Thanksgiving, for that matter. Hit me with your do's and don'ts. This is my first Friendsgiving in a new city for me, and I'm panicking. Calli, you're in college.
I am.
Are you familiar with the concept of Friendsgiving?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, we do it every year.
You do one every year. So
Yeah.
you are, how big is your Friendsgiving, so to speak?
Probably like 20, 30 people.
That is okay, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Like we're
it's
talking,
large.
what have you brought? Do you host this, or is this a
Yeah.
different situation?
So usually my friend in their apartment hosts it because it's
Mhm.
a little bit bigger than ours.
Okay.
And one of our guy friends, Max, he's a great chef and he volunteers to basically cook the entire thing. And it's one of the best days of the year, in my opinion, because he cooks for all of us. We literally don't bring anything.
Wow.
Like it's literally show up and eat,
Show up and
which
eat.
is really nice.
That flies in the face of Friendsgivings because
Yeah.
usually it's a potluck on purpose.
Right,
Like you're
right.
supposed to bring something, you're supposed to eat,
But
drink,
prior
and
to
be
that,
merry.
prior to him like wanting to cook for everyone,
Mhm.
it was like everyone like bring your own thing, and I would like die if there was no mac and cheese there. So I'm always on mac and cheese duty.
There you go.
But yeah,
That is so. Are you a mac and cheese at Thanksgiving person since day one here?
yes.
Okay. Why is that? How'd that tradition start in your household?
I don't know, honestly. I feel like my mom just started making it. Like growing up, it was just
Mhm.
like a staple dish at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And I feel like it complements the other dishes there, rather than take away from it.
It certainly does. With Thanksgiving foods, and this is not a hot take by any stretch of the imagination, there's a reason you eat them like once a year,
Right.
right?
It puts you to sleep.
It puts you to sleep. Like stuffing is good. Mashed potatoes, fine. You eat those a lot.
Right.
Turkey, super mid,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I feel like turkey depends on the gravy that goes with it too.
Yeah, you can spice up a turkey a little
Yeah.
bit, but gravy. I'm not eating a ton all year.
Right.
Cranberry sauce and
Nope.
sweet potatoes, like not eating a ton a year. That's why the mac and cheese is necessary.
It's necessary.
It's absolutely necessary. Mine started. I couldn't eat meat for a long time with a kidney disease that I have, and so I was basically a vegetarian until I was 16. So like mac and cheese was my Thanksgiving
Yeah.
meal from like 4 years old, and then it became a tradition. That was funny. I was at the kids' table with like Kraft mac and cheese. Then we since have upgraded. My dad used to make a really like just as bad for you of a mac and cheese
Oh yeah.
as possible.
With like
and
the
it was
breadcrumbs
just
and stuff on top.
breadcrumbs. Yep.
Mm.
Used to take
Yep.
out the lighter and just like
Yep.
singe the fuck out of them. Unbelievable. There's like 6 different cheeses in there. Now the key to that mac and cheese is it was the elbows, right?
Right.
But they were not just regular macaroni. They were like they were like an inch and a half long. Giant elbows. I don't know what they're called other than giant elbows.
Giant elbows.
But they would get the sauce and the cheese and the butter would all get in the elbow itself,
Right.
and just was to die for. So that is what I will be doing for my Friendsgiving that I have coming up on Friday.
On Friday.
I have a Friendsgiving on Friday. Yes,
Does it seem a little early?
it does. It does.
feel
I
like
think
Ours is a little early too. We're doing it on Monday.
it's early, but you know what? You don't want to get. I mean, the back half of next week is going to be Friendsgiving heavy.
Right.
I don't know if I'm not currently slated to go to another one. I might end up going, like maybe I'll go to Randy's house.
I also feel like doing it earlier is kind of better because I don't know if I could body back to back like Thanksgiving meals. Like if it was closer to
what?
Thanksgiving.
That's a great
Yeah.
piece of advice. So I'll put that. I'll go as far as to say if you're doing or hosting a Friendsgiving, the earlier the better, because then you're not back to backing.
Right. You have like the week to digest and prepare for it again.
Absolutely fair.
Mhm.
A do for me would be like even if I'm in your situation, Callie, where it's like don't bring anything, don't cook, don't do like I'm still bringing a
Still
bottle
bring
of
something,
bottle
yeah.
of wine, 6-pack.
Yep.
A bottle of Tito's or something along those lines. Maybe it's a Vizzy Hard Seltzer, for example.
Right.
But I'm still bringing something. Maybe a little dessert that can be passed around. Maybe, but like if there's a strict no food situation, okay, I'll respect it. But I will bring something. Another do if there is food involved. This is a potluck situation.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair to say like don't get adventurous with it?
Adventurous as in like don't take one of everything, or if you know you're not gonna like eat it.
No, don't bring buffalo chicken dip, for
Yeah.
example. Like, are you trying to stay in that wheelhouse of Thanksgiving cuisine?
Yes.
And you're not trying to get crazy, like you're bringing ham. It's like, well, why are you bringing pigs in a blanket to a
Right.
Thanksgiving and Friendsgiving?
Right. I feel like there's a certain realm of getting like, I don't know, thinking outside of the box or like taking it too far. And I
Mhm.
wouldn't want to take it too far because then like, what's the point of like calling it a Friendsgiving if
Sure.
you're not like bringing Thanksgiving-esque food?
Yep, that's fair.
But I don't know. You could have some fun with it, but I don't think go like too far out of like the ballpark.
I think that's fair. I think the easy way to spice it up a little bit and be unique would be dessert stuff.
I agree.
You can do pies. You can do nine different pies. Are you a pecan or a pecan person?
Pecan.
Pecan, pumpkin always plays. I'm a chocolate cream guy myself. And then the other thing call ahead. Make sure you're not the only one. You're not bringing something that somebody's already bringing,
Right.
right? Because then it's a battle. Then people are judging.
Yeah. Do you think it's not good to have like a spreadsheet where everyone signs up? Because does that ruin the surprise factor?
I see where you're coming from. There's got to be like an element of maybe you remove the names and it's just like, hey, we need this, or you can add and put like a check mark next to it. Like, hey, pumpkin pie is covered. No telling who it's from,
Right.
but there's going to be something involved.
Okay.
Other do, excuse me, this is a don't. It's easy to get bombed at Friendsgivings. Not like bomb, like drunk, hammered.
Right.
Careful on getting a little tipsy at the Friendsgivings. The wine goes down easy. Usually there's a lot of bourbon, maybe some
Yeah.
dark beers involved. You should have seen Randy at the one last year. Oh boy.
Going crazy.
You know, it happens. It happens. No, I think Friendsgivings are fun. Try to enjoy them. Maybe we'll keep politics off the table this year, perhaps.
Right.
You know, don't get like the crypto dude who's down bad. Maybe
Right.
we leave him alone. You know, his life savings are gone as of today. So
Yeah.
it's tough out there. It's tough out there. But if you need help deciding what you want to do for Friendsgiving, Callie, I almost called you Sally. Maybe our friends at ButcherBox could help. ButcherBox is doing their best to put you in the right mind frame this holiday season. They take the guesswork out of finding high quality meat and seafood that you can trust. 100% grass fed beef, free range organic chicken, pork raised crate free, wild caught seafood. Are you kidding me, Randy? Humanely raised with no antibiotics or added hormones. And it's super, super convenient. Get just what you want delivered right to your doorstep with free shipping for the continental US with no surprise fees. Here's what you do. You choose from a variety of box plan options, from curated to customized, and you can change your plan whenever you want. Or, like myself, you can kind of pick and choose. That's why the custom box is where I live. Enjoy a range of high-quality cuts that are hard to come by at the grocery store at an amazing price every single month. Plus, you get exclusive member deals, so you can save big on your favorite cuts, recipe inspirations, guides, tips, etc. All stuff, so you can cook up mouth-watering meals. Callie, what's your favorite cut of meat currently?
Oh, I feel like I eat chicken a lot.
ButcherBox has unbelievable chicken. Really, really good. I have some scallops from them that I might have to throw together here pretty soon. But if you're looking for turkey, ButcherBox has you covered. Like I said, turkey, careful with it. Easy to dry it out, but that's why ButcherBox gives you the highest quality turkey, so you have the lowest chance of overcooking it. How about that? Convenient. The price is insane. The quality is great. It tastes great. It's so, so, so easy when you subscribe to ButcherBox. And here's the deal. The main course for Thanksgiving dinner can sometimes be a main source of stress, not anymore. ButcherBox is offering listeners of the Mail-In Podcast a free turkey with their first order. Are you kidding me, Randy? Are you kidding me? Thanksgiving is taken care of with a free turkey from ButcherBox if you sign up today at butcherbox.com/mailin and use code MAILIN to get one 10 to 14 pound turkey free in your first box. That's butcherbox.com/mailin and use code MAILIN to claim this deal. Thanksgiving is taken care of with our friends at ButcherBox. Next one, Kelly. Keep it simple. If someone full on ghosts you after a first date where nothing egregious happened, do you have the right to call them out?
Oof, this one's tough because yes, you have the right to call them out, but I don't know if you should.
Okay. Just take me through that a little bit.
I feel like it depends on the context. If you've been talking a lot before your first date, or if you've gotten to know each other before your first date, say you're like texting, FaceTiming, whatever.
Perhaps on a
And-
dating app.
Right. Or if
Okay.
like you've built some sort of like underlying relationship before you're going on this first date, then maybe you can ask like, hey, what's up? Like,
Okay.
what's going on? Whereas if it's just like a random first date, then honestly, one, screw that guy for not like calling you back or vice versa.
True.
But I don't know if you necessarily need to call them out for it.
Okay. So there's an element of like you can say, hey, like what's the deal? You deserve
Yeah.
at least a text. Maybe doesn't
Right.
maybe it's not closure by any means, but it's like, hey, like what's the deal
Right.
here? Versus a total call out. Now, what is a first date in your opinion? Like say it's maybe it's a friend group thing.
Yeah.
So is it the first one-on-one?
First one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah.
One-on-one, and there's not necessarily intention of like taking it further than a date,
Right.
but there's also you're out with somebody for the specific purpose of like getting to know somebody
Right.
more. If that's in a friend group situation, in a dating app situation, obviously it's the first time you meet up.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I just feel like sometimes if you were to like call them out, it would not necessarily look bad on your part, but like
I think it
you
sets
don't
a
really need them at the end of the day.
right. You know, like
Even though it
the
sucks, like you don't necessarily need to like stoop down to their level and call them out for it.
you're right. You're right. It sucks. It's unfortunate, but it's a lose lose.
Right.
Like what's the best thing that could happen?
Like, okay, they
They
respond.
respond and
And
say
then
like
what?
that was rude. Sorry, like for not
Right.
just letting you down easily, and then it's over anyway. And then
Right.
now there's hard feelings when it can just kind of like okay, we'll let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go, move on, and that's the closure you kind of have there. I think first day where nothing egregious happened, maybe something did happen, and you're just of
You
the
just,
idea
yeah.
that nothing egregious happened. There, that can oftentimes be the case. I just don't think it's worth the
I don't
call
think it's
out.
worth it either.
Maybe it's worth a text and say, hey, like just
Yeah.
making sure this we're not doing anything after this. Moving on.
Right.
Cool with you, cool with me. Fine. That's fine. But I think it's lighthearted in nature more than
Yeah.
anything.
I agree.
Have you ghosted anybody before?
I don't think I've purposely ever ghosted anyone before, but I feel like I definitely have at one point just like not responded or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. I just feel like ghosting at this point is just like immature. Like if you don't want anything to do with the person, just like you don't have to be like I don't want anything to do with you, but you can be
Sure.
like, "Hey, I had a great time, but not looking for anything serious," or something like that, like just like come up with some excuse rather than just leave them like wondering what went wrong.
Yes.
So I don't know. But yeah, getting ghosted, I feel like I don't know. I've definitely been ghosted before and it sucks.
Okay.
But it's just not worth time or energy to keep
Mhm.
pressuring that person to respond.
I've been immature and ghosted. I've been ghosted,
Yeah.
and now at 28, I see how both sides of that it sucks for everybody involved.
Yeah.
So I'll say that much. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Okay.
What's up, guys? This is another holiday question, Kelly.
Okay.
Got a holiday question for you. Yeah, like we said. That's been stuck in my craw for a couple of years now. Love that phrase.
Stuck in my craw.
Stuck in my craw. Like it's like
Yeah.
stuck in my craw. Is it wrong to have a Christmas tree up prior to Thanksgiving? I firmly believe that Thanksgiving is folded into what we call the holiday season, and as such, should be celebrated with a fully decorated tree. I've become a martyr in my friend group for this. For some context, I also start listening to Christmas music as soon as we hit the Burr months because Burr, it's cold. It must be Christmas. I just feel that Christmas makes us all happy, and why don't we celebrate it as early as possible? Love what you're doing. Get you on the flip side. Callie, did you celebrate Christmas even adjacently growing up in a Jewish household?
No, I did not.
Okay.
But
Are
there
you-
were parts of me that was like, I just want a Christmas tree for the fun of it.
Got it.
You know?
Okay. I will take the Christmas tree part of that. I get it. And I'm sure you have friends or
Oh, yeah.
that you're just like, oh, you're putting your Christmas tree up like the first weekend in November, huh? I get it. I get it. Once Target changes over, once
Yep.
Home Goods changes over, like it's hard not to get in the Christmas spirit.
Right.
They're putting lights up. Like there was lights up at the Domain the other day when I was up
Mhm.
there. I was kind of getting in the spirit, and I get it. But I tell myself every year that the reason it is so good is because you look forward to it so much. And to me, there's sort of a law of diminishing returns with it that if you have it up for 2.5 months, or like right after Halloween, for example, I know people do it, and I'm fine. There's no anti in me.
Right.
I'm fine with it. I just subscribe to a different style, and that is the weekend after Thanksgiving for me every year. Get through Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Also, I like to decorate for fall a little bit.
Right.
You kind of take the Halloween stuff down. You put the cornucopia up. You put the gourd situation going. You get the fall candles going. I don't want to get rid of my pumpkin spice stuff yet. So that's why I build in those 2 or 3 or 4 weeks in November that I get to enjoy that kind of fall, more like a cool fall post-Halloween decoration.
Yeah. I
Part of
also
it.
feel like the idea of like decorating a Christmas tree or having a Christmas tree up is just like, yes, you look forward to it for so long.
Mhm.
And why would you just immediately get to it rather than like, what are you going to do those first 3 weeks of December? Like you could spend it with your family decorating a Christmas tree.
Sure. Yeah.
And prior to that, you can spend it decorating for Thanksgiving and
Mhm.
fall. So I don't know. That was kind of my outlook when I was growing up. Like I loved seeing the Christmas trees, but I didn't really get it
Sure. I
before a certain time
that's
period.
that's a fair take. I like how you have an outside perspective on this too,
Right.
because you're trying to just like, okay,
Yeah.
I see. And you know what? Like the person here asks, is it wrong? No, not at all. If you have your Christmas tree up November 1st with Christmas music playing and Christmas cookies in the oven, I'm fine with it. Totally fine with it. I have no problem with it. I just subscribe to the Thanksgiving night. Once that meal is done and Black Friday rolls around, that is boom. Christmas
Yeah.
season hits like a freight train.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to tell on myself a little bit? Have I dabbled in a little Christmas music here and there? Yeah, I have. I have. Are you a Christmas music fan?
Yeah. Some.
Okay.
The classics.
Yep, gotta have the classics. I've become like a Christmas jazz kind of fan
Okay.
where like Christmas cocktail jazz is the Spotify playlist that I turn on.
Mm.
And it's very like,
Sounds vibey.
it's vibey, it's
Yeah.
old. There's not a lot of like not a lot of lyrics.
Right.
It's very instrumental in
Hmm.
nature. It's piano, it's guitar, saxophone. Very, very into that.
I'm more of Christmas movies, I feel like, than I am like music
Sure. And
to get me into the spirit.
I have this weird thing with Christmas movies that unless it's like cold outside, I can't really watch them. And
Yeah.
here it's 82 today.
Yeah. It's hot today.
But that changes next week.
Next week.
Next week is
Put up our
I'm gonna
Christmas tree next week.
I might have to put up my tree next week because the weather is gonna be so downright cold for Texas, like high of 49. I
Yeah.
cannot wait. But Christmas movies, I'm with you. Big fan. But to me, that's a strict December thing. Like 25 days of Christmas on what used to be ABC Family
Yeah.
every year. Just knocking those out.
Yeah.
Also, Randy and I are the same here. We dabble in some Hallmark movies.
Mm.
Yeah, we dabble. We dabble. And by dabble, I mean I definitely watch them every year. So
Yeah,
it's like
right.
a thing with my grandma and I have.
You have a favorite?
No, just whatever like
Whatever's on.
the new girl from the big city comes to town for the weekend and the guy who runs the local shop, they meet, there's a
Yes.
problem,
Yes.
then they fall in love, and
Mhm.
then, oh no, like the shop's gonna go under. What do we do? And then we're gonna have a bake sale to save it, and then they do, and everybody's happy, and
Right.
then
It's just the
Christmas happens.
cliche,
Yeah,
like,
right, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm all in on them. I hate that I am. I'm sorry. I get it. But I'll watch 2 or 3 of those with my grandma
Yeah.
every year for sure. But you know what? I'm specifically saving them for the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And this
Yeah.
year we have like exactly 4 weeks, I think is kind of the vibe. Next year we have I think 5 weeks between. That's a good one.
Wow. Yeah.
So you just kind of take the hand you're dealt there.
Right.
But my thing here is no, you're not wrong. I'm psyched when people do it. I like seeing them up and about and seeing the Christmas stuff kind of happen and get involved. But I choose to celebrate it in a shortened time frame because I look forward to it more and I don't get as fatigued every year with it.
When's the right time to take them down after? I don't think I've ever paid attention to that.
Yeah, I've had years where I leave it up, well, like for till February.
Yeah, I
you know,
see.
and
There's some people that keep them up like year round too.
sure, yeah, and with Christmas lights, it's almost fun, especially when I lived up north, because the snow would fall and the
Right.
lights look beautiful on houses. Like especially you bury the lights under the snow and it kind of glows above.
Mhm.
It's really good, but for me, it's a couple weeks at this point. Usually, it's once I get kind of like, okay, like I don't need these up anymore.
Right.
Or if I'm having a Super Bowl party or something like that, you gotta take them down before that. But like Canada is the day after Boxing Day,
Okay.
and I can't imagine doing it like
Seems
this.
intense,
It's just
yeah.
like, whoa, we're
Yeah.
really, really ripping the Band-Aid
Right.
off. And you kind of like New Year's to me still has Christmas vibes.
I agree.
At least some lights and trees still
Yep.
up, and there's kind of the leftover like food and wine
Mhm.
and eat, drink, and be merry type of stuff. So I think anytime after New Year's and before the Super Bowl
'Kay.
is my recommendation. If you want to go over, I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire for it. Are you? Do you have a preference on white lights versus colored lights?
I
This is
really
not a race thing, Randy. Like, don't shake your head like that.
I really liked the not necessarily like solid, like different colors. I like
Okay.
the rainbow ones, you know, that
Yeah,
have like
yeah,
the
yeah.
multiple
Right.
colors in it,
Sure.
or the white. I feel like the white looks more classic and classy.
That has been the cliche as of, or the trope, I guess, is the last decade or so, is that
Yeah.
colored lights, like the rainbow lights, are not classy, and the white lights are.
Yeah.
And I think I subscribed to that for a little while, but
Yeah.
there's nothing like the glow, like, of a colored light Christmas tree on the back wall of the corner that you end up putting the tree on. They look better.
Yeah. I've always wanted to like put up lights at our house, but we never did it. But I
Mm.
feel like white would be cute. I don't know,
Wha
something to give it a little pizzazz.
No, and if I'm gonna do outside my house, it's it I think it's gonna be white, but, like, there's a part of me that just wants to go wild and go rainbow lights.
Yeah.
I've heard, that this is a year where the big bulb lights are gonna start coming back into style.
Hmm.
Like the Christmas light, they're like
Yeah.
tiny
Yeah.
LEDs. Well, now they're gonna go back to the bulbs that are like the size of your thumb kinda deal,
I feel
and
like that's like kind of dangerous.
they
Like,
used to be
I don't
super
know.
dangerous because they were like they were just light bulbs and they
Yeah.
were glass.
Right.
Now I think that we have methods
Figured it
to
out.
figure it out a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah, but no, I think I bought into, like, the white lights are classy and, like, very snow friendly type of
Right.
stuff for a while, but part of me just wants to go crazy and go back to the rainbow lights.
Yeah,
'Cause
teach their own. You do you.
right, our tree growing up was all rainbow lights,
Mhm.
and it was artificial. I won't get on you for artificial Christmas trees. I still have one. I've never had a real tree ever in my
Really?
life, ever. Um,
This year?
no.
Mm.
I want to. I'm so tempted because I have, the high ceilings in my living room, and I'd love to just get, like, a ridiculously large
Yeah.
tree. But fake trees are expensive too. Like, you
Yeah.
can get a 12-footer and it's like, "Oh, $700?" Like,
Right.
I'm all set. I'm gonna
Right.
get my 6-footer and, like, call it a day.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think I had colored lights growing up the whole time, and I loved the way it glowed on the back of the wall, like, in front of our fireplace, and I might go back to that at some point.
All right.
Or just combo. Like, I have white lights on my current one, throw a couple strands of rainbow ones on there, and be good to go. I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll
Just
see.
in the little details.
The little details.
Mhm.
Exactly. Um, God, that's a long way of saying that, no, put your Christmas stuff up whenever.
Whenever you want.
I here's how I do it. Did you guys have, some of the Jewish families in Saratoga would do, like, big lit up dreidels, or, like, they would basically do Christmas lights for dreidels and menorahs and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
We never did, but
Okay.
there were people in our neighborhood that would, or like
Mhm.
driving on, I don't know, like driving on like the main streets, they would have like the Christmas tree and then the menorah next to it. And I thought it was cute, but we never partook in that one.
I see. Okay. I also think, like, if I say I celebrated Hanukkah and Christmas,
Mhm.
Hanukkah is, like, objectively just as cool of a holiday as Christmas.
Yeah. It's
Eight
just not
8
one
days
day. Yeah.
of, like, presents. Like, as a kid, I remember being like, "Oh, man, like,
Yeah.
my buddy's got it made.
Yeah.
Get
It was
8
fun because
day."
it was like every night we would just like pick a different gift
Mhm.
basically. And so obviously you never know what you're picking, but
Sure.
it was fun just to like the anticipation kept going for 8 days. So like it was like more drawn out rather than one day of excitement, fun, amazing presents, yay.
Mhm. Yep.
It's 8 days of that,
Which is awesome.
which is nice because
And
it's like
am
it lasts longer.
am I correct in that the gifts sort of get progressively, like, bigger, I guess, is the word
Yeah.
for it? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the household, I guess. It
Mhm.
was me and my siblings. We would just have like three, I have two siblings. So we would just have like three little sections, and all of our gifts would be just like kind of stacked up, and we would just like choose one each day.
Ooh, okay.
So it's
Got it,
kind of
got
like
it, got
a
it.
guessing game.
Yes. Like, you
Um,
could go for the big one,
you
but
could,
it could be,
but
like,
the small one could be better.
Yep,
So you never
gotcha.
know.
Gotcha. Man, and do you guys have is there, like, a traditional feast, or like day of indulgence, I guess, in the Jewish faith?
Yeah, there's not really like a set day, but normally like the first night, I mean,
Mhm.
you like the menorah, but
Sure.
the first night it would be just like matzo ball soup,
Mm.
latkes, that vibe, some brisket. Yeah,
Matzo ball soup
matzo
and
ball soup is insane.
that
It's like my
sounds
favorite.
fantastic right
Hmm.
now. Randy, do you have any Christmas traditions that you look forward to every year?
I mean, not really. I guess putting stuff up. You making the Penguin Christmas Village was a fun thing.
What's the Penguin Christmas
It's just a
Village?
Christmas village, but my mom's really into penguins, so it's all penguin themed.
Do you know I'm very into Christmas villages?
I do. I have a.
I
Can you-
have a very legit one that my grandma has passed me down stuff for a long time.
I got a question. Can you read the last two sentences of this question?
I just feel that if Christmas makes us all happy,
Oh wait, no. I'm talking. He said that they start listening to Christmas music in the Burr months.
yes,
So
October,
starting
November,
September.
Oh,
That is way too early. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no,
If you want to
September-
start in November, I'm fine. But September, that's ridiculous to me.
okay, very much agree with you on that. My rule for Christmas music, leaves have to be off the trees. Foliage can't even still be on it.
Yeah, I hate Christmas during October and stuff. November, I'm fine with it. Do what you want, but September is just ridiculous. In the past 4 years,
I didn't even think of that. I was thinking just Q4.
I've been noticing the past 4 years, stores have started putting stuff out right after Labor Day in September.
Oh,
and
it's nuts, dude.
It gets me so mad.
Mhm.
Halloween is like fall beers are in August now, and Texas throws this whole freaking thing out of whack because it's 107 in
Right.
the middle of September.
I was gonna say, I feel like it depends on where you're from, because if it's colder where you're living, it might
Mhm.
be more enticing to get into the Christmas vibe. Whereas here,
Absolutely.
it's still 80 degrees. Like it's
Yep.
harder to get into the vibe.
We've had growing up in New York, there would be every other year you would get snow in October. You'd definitely get
Yeah.
flurries in October. We'd have like an inch or two of snow on Halloween half the
I don't think
time.
that's ever happened here.
No, and then November was definitely like November. I remember Thanksgiving a couple years ago, it was like -20 in Saratoga, and it just does not happen down here. Yeah, God, September's early for Christmas
Yeah,
music.
way too early.
Burr months of November and December though, do your thing. October, just enjoy Halloween
Right.
and the fall. You know what would help your Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's celebrations?
What?
Vizzy Hard Seltzer,
Mm.
Calli. The holidays are such a special time of year. Between gift giving and family traditions, the holidays are full of lighthearted moments that make the end of the year a little bit more joyful. Vizzy Hard Seltzer brings the joyful vibes all year round, but especially at the holidays. And whether you're visiting loved ones or enjoying being home for the holidays, 'tis always the season to enjoy Vizzy, the hard seltzer bursting with fruit flavors. Randy, I am so big on the mimosa Vizzies right now. It's insane. It's insane. Lemonade Vizzies, mimosa Vizzies. Your mic's still up. You can also partake in this.
Lemonades are the best.
Okay. I don't hate that. Calli, do you have a favorite Vizzy?
I haven't tried the mimosa ones yet,
Oh.
but I feel like I would love it.
Oh, yeah. Peach mimosa, orange mimosa,
Hmm.
pineapple, strawberry. Those are all the mimosa flavors, and they're just phenomenal. Like they taste just legitimately so good. So
Right.
good. And they're a perfect complement for your Friendsgiving, your Christmas party. If you want to have it's just a light cocktail that maybe you're tailgating ahead of a
Mhm.
game and you want to keep it light, keep it, stay on
Right.
your feet. Vizzy is the perfect complement for that. You can also go back to the OG flavors. Strawberry kiwi, blue pommy, black cherry lime, pineapple mango. We were rocking with those mid-pandemic, Randy, like early. And they're still there kicking. So Vizzy Hard Seltzer, stock up this holiday season. Try to get your parents on board, get your friends, your cousins. You know the cousin walk before Thanksgiving dinner? When all the cousins go for a walk, Randy? You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Bring a Vizzy along in the neighborhood. Throw it in a Yeti or something like that, and here you go. Vizzy Hard Seltzer, flavors for every vibe. Stock up on Vizzy Hard Seltzer and show some love for the show. Here's how to get yours. Go to VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed to find Vizzy near you. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed. And to hear first about the latest flavor drops and more, sign up at VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. You must be 21 plus to enjoy. Please celebrate responsibly on behalf of our friends at the Molson Coors Beverage Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's go to the next one. Hi, Sally, aka Callie, and Brett. We just recently got hooked up with a partnership for a local gym slash fitness class through work. It's pretty expensive for unlimited weekly classes, but we're getting it for free, so I've been going a few times a week. Good for you. Here's the thing, I'm single, and there are definitely a lot of good looking women in the workouts. I've been doing the 6 a.m. slots, but not sure if it's acceptable to try to talk to somebody that early in the day when we've just done a hard workout. Pretty much no way to tell if someone's single or not either, as most are not coming with a guy. Fortunately, it's much more intimate, usually only like 10 to 15 of us in a morning class, so it's not like randomly going up to some girl at a traditional gym. Would love some advice on trying to talk to somebody in this regard. Cheers, Callie. Callie. If I've learned one thing in my short life,
Hmm.
it is that women do not want to
Yep.
be talked to between the hours of, I don't know, 5:30 and 7:30, especially with a hard workout, a lot of sweat, and just generally like everybody's tired and doesn't want to be there in the first place.
Right.
Am I tracking pretty much correct in that?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
I feel like talking, if you want to start a convo, I feel like ideally it would be you would go a little bit earlier and start the convo before the class starts, because I don't think a girl will want to like talk when they're all sweaty and gross, and
Hmm.
because girls care obviously more about like what they look like when they're talking to a guy. So I feel like after the class wouldn't be the best.
It's also
So
scary. Like people have
before,
places to be,
yeah, they gotta go
like
somewhere. If you're doing a 6 a.m., that means like you're
you're going to
probably
work.
going somewhere
Yeah.
after. Like no one's voluntarily being like, oh, 6 a.m., great. Then I'm gonna come home and do nothing. Like, no.
Mhm. That's a
Um,
great point. Like nobody's
yeah.
like, "Hey, you wanna go grab a coffee after
Like,
this and, like,
no.
talk about our feelings?" It's like,
Yeah.
"No, I have to be at
Yeah,
work
I
in
gotta go.
39 minutes."
Right.
Yeah.
But to start the convo, if you've never like seen them before, obviously you could start being like a question pertaining to the class, or like, have you ever had this instructor? Like, how
Mhm.
often do you come here? Like stuff like that. And then gauge their response. So like if they respond with like a one word, then they're probably not in the mood to talk.
'Kay.
Or if they give you an open-ended like answer or
Like,
longer answer, then maybe you
haha,
can
yeah.
keep the yeah, maybe you can keep the convo going.
Okay. I think, for me in this situation, I think you gotta, like, let's get 10 or 11 classes under our belt here where you're focused on the workout, you're not
Right.
focused on these other people, like, you're like, get familiar
Right.
by being present. And so everybody's kind of a little more comfortable. It's like, oh, hey, like I've seen you, you've come to like 9 classes in a
Yeah.
row. So have I. That's kind of the building block, the first step.
Yeah, I agree.
And you don't try to initiate really any conversation unless there's a reason to. And then if you then it just gets weird of being like, hey, do you want to grab a drink sometime or grab a coffee? Because then if she says no, you've both kind of ruined this like class for each other
Right.
because it's not like a gym where there's a million people there.
Yeah.
There's only 10 of you. And if you try this with one person and they say no, well, now you've kind
Mhm.
of ruined your and her experience.
Right.
And so like, for me, this is borderline like don't speak unless spoken to territory.
That too.
And if she wants to come up to you and be like, "Oh, like I've seen you, like I like your shoes, or where'd you get your yoga mat? It's really nice." Or can I switch in this workout with you? Or can I be your like cardio buddy where you're on for 30 seconds, then I'm on for 30 seconds? It's like th- I'm really I'm not going into any conversation here in the morning, even if you're familiar with the people, with the idea of trying to go on a date.
Yeah.
If anything, it is making a joke or trying to familiarize myself, like, "Hey, I'm Brett. I've seen you a million times here. Like, what do you think of the class?
Yeah.
Oh, that one was hard. Oh, where's Billy this morning? Like, or where's
Yeah.
Susanna this morning?
Right.
Stuff like that." And then maybe you kind of chit chat and chit chat and chit chat to the point of, okay, what's your Instagram? Like,
Right.
something like that, but very, very rarely would you just cut straight to the, "Hey, I wanna grab a coffee" thing. It's like,
Yeah.
odds are they don't. We're sweaty and we have to go to work. And two, the risk, at least immediately, outweighs the benefit because then you ruin class for you and somebody else.
Right. But there's also like the cliche, oh, like guys trying to pick up a girl at the gym or vice versa. And it's like, I feel like girls would just get uncomfortable if you flat out just be like, yo,
Abs-
want to go get a drink? Like
Absolutely.
6
Absolutely.
a.m. Like,
I'd
no.
be uncomfortable if a girl came up to me. She's like, "What are you doing after this?" I'd be like, "I'm going
What?
home.
Yeah.
I don't
One.
I don't look great right now. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be here necessarily."
Right.
So I think you have to go in with the idea that any relationship coming from a 6 a.m. workout class has to be built over a long period of time,
Yeah. And also, if you're
respectively.
trying to like figure out if they're in a relationship, I feel like asking for recommendations or something like that, a girl will definitely, if they don't want anything to do with you or whatever, will drop the boyfriend card.
Sure. Yeah.
So like you wouldn't even have to like necessarily ask or like imply that that's what you're wondering, but
Okay.
they'll probably, even if you don't imply that, they'll probably drop it if they don't want to talk to you or they don't want to get involved or anything.
Yes, I like that. One thing I definitely wouldn't do in the morning at like 6 a.m. is like try the negging tactic.
Mm,
Like, oh, your form stinks.
right.
She's like, I don't care.
No
I'm
one's
like,
in the best mood at 6 a.m. to
no,
start with.
like, oh, you got to
And it,
get your knees
yeah.
up. It's like,
Mm-mm.
no, you can go fuck off.
Yeah, no one wants a hardo. Like
No,
no
nobody
one.
wants the negging. Like, it's one that I get that people do it, but that's not the time or place. Usually,
Yeah,
by the way, if she's like up and at 'em at 6 a.m. every day working out, the I don't think the negging works anyway. She's just
right.
like, I'm better than you, and you can fuck off. It's
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, okay, cool, cool,
yeah.
cool, 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 cool.
And kudos to them for going to a 6 a.m. class in
Yeah,
the first
kudos to
place.
you for being there
Like,
at all. I have
can't relate to that one.
even we would do like I played baseball at Northeastern for a fall, right? It was like one semester's worth of workouts where we
Mhm.
had 6:15 lifts. And even 3 months in,
Miserable.
still couldn't do it. I was just waited for myself to be like, "Oh, fucking ready to go, up and at 'em." Nope, can't do it.
I
Can't
also
do it.
just can't go to bed early enough to like get a full night's sleep in order to wake up for a 6 a.m. class.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
And
Impossible.
sure, that's on me, okay, but like I
Yeah.
can't figure it out
If
to
you
go to bed at like 9 p.m. It just won't work.
I agree. If you can do this, consistently, I am proud of you. I am jealous of you.
Yeah,
I admit that I am less than, and I am sorry that I'm not built like you.
right.
Fair? Fair, Randy? My man. Let's do the next one, Kelly. Hey, Brett. You famously like to work from bars. Are you aware of this, Kelly, that I like to do a lot of work from my office that is not Wash Media?
Yeah, I was kind of aware, but
Okay.
I guess not to the extent where a lot of people know about it.
Yeah, I like to talk about how, and it's not like I don't get hammered at these
Mm,
bars, but I'll go on like a Wednesday for happy hour, have 2 glasses of wine, and knock out a bunch of emails or
right.
a bunch of um, like sales spreadsheet stuff that,
Hmm.
for example, you work on. I'll knock out a lot of that at a bar because I like the din of it. I like the ambiance. I like the conversation with the bartender, and I don't like being at a coffee shop where it's like quiet. I
I'm like the opposite.
don't like like when I would go study in college, it was never at the library. It was at my gym lobby. Like we
Mm,
had a big gym atrium with like a. Do you guys have Au Bon Pain here? ABP. It's
mm-mm.
like a Panera ish, Panera adjacent kind of
Okay.
pastry shop, and we had a big atrium with a big lobby and a bunch of tables at it, and that's where I would do my work because I needed some ambiance, some people
Right.
watching, some people talking type of stuff. Anyway, you famously like work from bars. I do. I'm thinking of starting the same tactic, but I'm curious how you judge if a bar is good to work from. What's your criteria? Is it based on vibes or do you have a mental rubric? Let me know so I can start crushing work while enjoying a cocktail and making friends with the bartender. I love this question. Thank you for subscribing to that method. Um, no, I don't have a rubric per se, but my criteria for working from bars has to be quiet enough that you can get work done.
Right.
Has to be somewhere that you can always have a seat at the bar, comfortable seat, Has to be somewhere, I'm going to say nice enough. Do you know what I mean by nice enough?
Yeah.
Nice enough that you're not going to be looked at weirdly for
Right.
having your laptop open at it.
Right. It has to be acceptable.
Has to be acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually that is not a Buffalo Wild Wings or a Chili's,
Right.
for example, or like the bar at Texas Roadhouse.
Mm.
While good, I'm just not bringing my laptop there.
Right.
You're not going to a dive bar. You're not going to somewhere people like to go out. You're not trying to turn this into a night, although that has happened in my experience. You're not trying to. So it's got to be a place. Think of a hotel bar. Usually the ambiance
Yeah.
is pretty. The din is good. There's people conversing. There's people
Mhm.
walking around, but it's not loud by any means. It's almost subdued in a way. Like conversation is between you and the other person, not necessarily yelling across the bar
Yeah.
if the Eagles score a touchdown. So that's kind of the first hurdle is the bar, and I hate to use the word nice, but is the bar upscale enough that laptops are acceptable
You
in the
can
first
actually
place?
like get work done.
Right. 2, good happy hour. Usually I'm doing work at a bar between the hours of 3 and 6. That's pretty much my
Yeah.
sweet spot. Is there some sort of deal in there that you can take advantage of? For example, I'll shout out Fix Southern House. Great spot. Kind of my office.
Mm.
$7 well cocktails from 4 to 6. In Austin,
Steal.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And they're well, vodka, tequila, and bourbon is all very good. So you can do like $7 martinis in Austin on a Thursday afternoon, put your laptop away and go out if you want to.
Right.
It's a great deal. So that's part of this too. 3 is I make sure it's a spot where you can sit at the bar and not just in a
I
corner
was gonna ask,
table and
like, are you gonna sit like in like the restaurant area or just like a booth area, or are you sitting at the bar?
you got to sit at the bar.
Okay.
Got to sit at the bar in this tactic, because then you open up conversation with the bartender, you open up conversation with somebody who slides in next to you
Yeah.
and hey, well, what do you do? And we usually I play and this is with dating as well. You want to create a third person interaction.
Mm.
Use the bartender as a third person to sort of introduce yourself to another person in the triangle.
Right.
That's sort of a tactic.
Okay.
Um, or a business person, man, woman,
Yeah.
coach,
Right.
you name it. Using the bartender to your advantage to introduce yourself and network.
Yeah. I see. I wish I could do work at a bar or at somewhere that's loud, but I'm the complete opposite. I put in my noise cancellation headphones. I white noise, like cannot talk to anyone.
Really?
I get distracted
So you also
so
have
easily.
different like when you're in the corporate world,
That's
work is going to be
true.
different than like homework or
That's
writing.
true.
Is it? I have a tough time.
Like I can't sit down and write an essay if there's like screaming
Right.
or like music. And I
Yeah. Oh
wish
yeah.
I was the
No.
type of person that could like all my friends like listen to their favorite songs or
Mhm.
whatever, but my head just starts singing the songs rather than focusing on what's in front of me.
Sure. And
So I'm just like I start like dancing and I'm
Mhm.
like, this is not what
Yeah.
I'm meant to be doing.
If a bar is in if that situation you're in the like I can't work from a bar like that. It
Yeah.
has to be low key where the music is soft enough that you can have a conversation, soft enough that you can focus, but enough people moving about and
Right.
bartenders pouring drinks and like forks and knives kind of clanking around.
That you're not like focusing on that.
Yeah, that you're
Yeah.
kind of out of your own head a little bit, but
Yeah.
you're still able to focus on your stuff. And then it's got to be somewhere where you could bring a friend or bring like, hey, meet me at 5:30. I'm gonna get 2 hours of
Yeah.
work done. I'll meet you here, close the laptop up, and you can still enjoy a nice cocktail
Right.
or a glass of wine or a beer, like you name it.
Yeah.
Um, and then I guess the last one would be make sure they have good apps,
Yeah. Little
because
little
little
bites.
bites that if you want to at the end of your work day before you have dinner, doesn't have to be a full dinner, but you have a couple appetizers there.
Right.
So I think that kind of covers it,
Maybe I'll
right?
try it soon. Maybe I
Yeah.
can train myself to work in a loud environment.
It can't be loud. That's the key. Cannot be
But to me,
loud.
that would be loud. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so
Like
that's
all the
your
little
loud.
distractions going on.
Yes, I see.
I would be like zoning in on everything but what's in front of me.
Ah,
So I
I
need to
see.
slowly train myself.
Or just take an Adderall.
Yeah, or that.
Let's go to the last one. Callie, quick travel question for the gurus. Callie is in place of Guru Sally today as a travel guru. Taking a trip in early to mid-December and cannot decide what to do. Me and my girlfriend would be going. Okay, so there's a couple's trip. I'm an outdoorsy guy, so the whole New York in the winter isn't my cup of tea. Okay. Would love any idea for staying in the States. And I'm on a firefighter budget, by the way. Shouts. Shouts to Randy's roommate, also a firefighter. So, Callie,
I feel
I
like escaping winter, but staying in the States is hard.
okay.
And being outdoors at the same time. Like all those criterias, I feel like they don't
Yeah.
really mesh.
So if you're an outdoorsy guy, I think December, you're kind of like taking the it's little early for skiing. It's actually a lot early for skiing.
Yeah.
And if you're not skiing in a mountain town in December, it's already getting pretty expensive to
Right.
travel to. You got to be careful of Christmas travel. Firefighter budget, I assume that kind of means like we're not balling out per se. We're
Yeah.
trying to go to not the Ritz, not the St. Regis, for example. So the kind of trips I'm thinking there are maybe like a beach that's normally super popular in summer or in spring
Yeah.
when people are kind of the escape weekends. So maybe
Mhm.
you hit a beach in December that's still going to be pretty nice weather. Might be a little cooler than summer. You're not necessarily slamming the ocean or surfing
Right.
like that. Or you go to like a Texas and do like a Big Bend, for example,
Yeah.
or Enchanted Rock State
Yeah.
Park type of thing, where you're not going to get snowed in. You don't have to be super careful of stuff, or like a Fredericksburg, right, where it's wine country.
Yeah.
And it's not Napa. It's not the Finger Lakes in New York. It's not gonna cost you an arm and a leg, but you can have a cool, like, 1 or 2 bedroom Airbnb with a hot tub outside. It's still gonna be 50 something degrees, so you're not gonna freeze. You can go to a bunch of wineries, have a blast, and get out of there for, I'm sure, under a grand for a full weekend.
Yeah. I feel like my recommendations would be different for each different like criteria. Like if you're trying to escape the cold, then
Yeah,
yes, go to a beach, do that.
sure.
But I feel like that wouldn't be the best outdoorsy esque,
Uh-huh.
like the activities there wouldn't be the same as if like you were to go to like, I don't know, like Montana and go fly fishing or something like
Yeah.
that. But then you're gonna be freezing still.
Yeah, you
So
probably gotta
you have
stay
to
away
weigh out
from
your
the
priorities, I feel like.
winter spots here because
Yeah.
like, Montana in December, too cold for what you're looking to do, which I'm assuming, I mean, maybe you're just rugged people and
Yeah.
you're happy to go hike in the snow for a while.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. It's elk mating season in the fall. You gotta be careful of that if you're outdoorsy. So that's why I'm kinda I'm thinking coastal here,
Yeah.
and not New York, not Boston, too cold. Um, so let's look at Florida, let's look at Georgia,
Carolinas.
Carolinas. Maybe you're looking at, or you could go to a fun city, like do Dallas or do Austin or
Yeah.
do San
Nashville.
Diego, like
Yeah.
places that you're gonna have a blast, big enough that you can kind of keep the costs relatively low. And you can do
Right.
that by going to a big airport city like
Yeah.
a Austin, Dallas, Nashville, Phoenix, LA, even. Um, but yeah, I would try to get somewhere where you can be outdoors, you can hike like a San Diego, still get good food, good drinks, good people, can do it on a budget relatively.
Hmm.
And yeah, so okay, my final answers are San Diego,
Okay.
Austin, and I'll do an East Coast. Let's call it Hilton Head Island.
Okay. I think I would
Or how about New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I would say Austin.
Hmm.
Love Austin. Or like Florida. But I feel like Florida might be a little, I don't know, not necessarily like too south or too I just don't know how many outdoorsy things would be going on other
Yeah.
than just going to the beach.
Right.
Like I feel like Florida is either like you're partying or you're at the beach.
Sure.
Or one of the Carolinas.
Okay.
And that's my verdict.
Randy, any early December trips? Chicago's not that time of year, huh?
God no. It's good for Christmas, but the same thing why he wouldn't want to go to New York. I would say national park is what I was thinking too. Like
Sure.
maybe go to
Yeah.
California, like go to the redwoods and stuff. National park seems an outdoorsy cool.
Yeah,
thing to do.
someplace where you can get a little Christmas vibes in too. I like California. LA, San Diego, San Francisco, Big Sur, maybe. Have a blast though. Let us know what you do. That'll do it for questions, Callie. Do you have any shower thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, I have a few
Okay.
that I've been thinking about lately. So, with self-driving cars,
Sure.
and now they're coming, I don't know, there's more being produced and they're becoming more, I guess, mainstream, I guess. Like some
Mhm.
people are dipping their toes into self-driving cars.
Yep.
Would you need windshield wipers? Because
Ooh.
humans need windshield wipers to see when they're driving. But if it's a self-driving car, the car doesn't need the windshield wipers to be going.
No.
So do you think it's, I don't know.
The reason I'm going to say yes, okay, so no, they don't need them.
But hypothetically, if you didn't have to touch the wheel ever, and
Ye-
this car is just driving fully on its own, you never have to be like backup safety if it starts malfunctioning and you have to take the wheel.
Yeah. They're going to put them on because I feel like they make the people inside more comfortable
Or if you want to see the views.
or we're going to get to a world where they're so self-sustainable that like they're going to be like blackout curtains and you're going to be able to watch TV or you're going to be able to you know what I mean? There's going to be
That'd be
there's
crazy.
no outside view if you don't want it.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming they're going to keep the windshield wipers because people are going to get claustrophobic or want to be able to see what's in front of them
Mm.
as like more of a comfort thing than a safety
Right.
thing. But I like
So
where
they're
your
not
head's at here.
necessary, but
Correct. They're not necessary, but they will be
it's like a nice added accessory.
as like a comfort mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then my other one is if you're not watching it, how do we know that Humpty Dumpty is an egg based on the rhyme? Because it never mentions that
Okay.
he's an egg.
Okay.
Unless
I
you're
see
like
what
reading the
saying.
book where there's like pictures of him on the wall.
Sure.
but-
Humpty. Let me see. Humpty Dumpty lyrics.
But like growing up, everyone just like assumed Humpty Dumpty was an egg. But without seeing any visuals, you would never know.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Right.
All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. That's how it goes, Randy.
That's it.
That's a great question. I don't know. I
It's-
don't know. I guess because you can't put him back together again after he falls, which would sort of insinuate that he is
It's fragile of some sorts, but it doesn't,
I guess we don't know if he's a male or female creature as well.
you know, nothing.
Just Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been pondering that one for a while.
That's a great
'Cause if
question.
you don't see any visuals,
Unless you know that there's a visual connected to the storyline.
right, then you
It
would
could
never
be
know.
anything.
Right.
It could be, it could be a vase. It could be a sentient vase. It could be a candle. There's just there's a lot that goes into the last line. If you can't put them together again, or her, you never know.
Yeah. Something to think about.
You never know. What's the real meaning behind Humpty Dumpty? It's a literary device for a riddle around breakable things. We're all vulnerable,
Yeah.
We all can be broken, Callie. Could be
We just go into the deep
could be
side.
Randy.
I'm trying to figure it out. Someone's trying to say it's like a cannon, but I think I've only seen that from one source.
A cannon.
I'm doing my research.
Okay.
now.
Let us know
Okay,
if you
yeah.
find anything else.
Get back to us on that one.
Is that it for your shower thoughts, Callie?
I have one more. So, last one. Why did witches, or what we think of witches, decide to ride brooms? Like, what was the broom aspect to it?
I
And
think that goes
Can
back
they fly,
to
or is it the broom that flies?
no. It's definitely the broom. The broom
it's like
has
a magic
power,
broom,
right?
yeah.
The broom has the power because if witches could fly, they would just fly sans
So I'm
broom.
guessing that they put a spell on the broom to make it fly, but hypothetically, you could do that on anything.
You're right. I mean, unless brooms are uniquely susceptible to magic and magic
Mm.
spells, like they appear
it's
to
the
be
material.
in the Hogwarts Harry Potter universe.
Yeah.
Why that's their preferred method of transport? I just feel like it's uncomfortable. Like you're just kind of riding a stick for like,
There's
especially
no like
long
cushion
journey.
or
No.
padding or anything.
It's like riding a bike with a seat that's too skinny. You're just like, my undercarriage is all set.
There's
I'm
no
good.
backrest either. You're just like,
Unless you sit on the bristly part,
right.
you have a little bit more support.
But then you're getting like stabbed by bristles.
Yeah, and there's like, how do you turn? Like, what is it a lean and a pull?
I think it's a
Like,
lean pull.
Yeah,
What if you fall off?
the throttle is my question. Or
How fast are you
how do you
going?
speed up, slow down?
Right.
So I
A lot
don't
of
know.
questions
There's a
surrounding
lot
that.
like Aladdin, magic carpet, a lot of
Right.
sense. A lot of
A lot of
sense.
sense.
Comfortable. You can theoretically carry stuff with you.
Yeah. It's wide.
Wide, comfy. Turning makes a little more sense there. Uh, Dragons, for example, a lot of people ride those in shows. Basically a horse in the sky. So yeah, I don't know why you go for the broom initially. Maybe just that was the option. If brooms are susceptible to magic spells and it's like, oh, we tried the lawnmower, we tried the bike.
And
Although a
then
witch
once
does
one
ride a
person did
bike
it.
in The Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah.
Or is that just tornadic? Is that tornado induced?
Well,
Pretty sure that's just tornado.
That's just tornado. So she's not riding the bike because she's a magic witch, the Wicked Witch of the East.
Her sister.
she came down in a bubble. But
Okay.
yeah, then Glenda came down in a bubble. So it's like there's little things where it's I feel like the witch aspect is some witch figured out that you can put a
Which
spell.
witch?
Witch? One of the witches put a spell on a broom, rode the broom, and then everyone was like, okay, I'll just do it on a broom because
Mm-hmm.
this witch did it. So I'm not going to try anything else. And I guess the witches today aren't trying to figure out a new mechanism of traveling.
That's a great question. I'm going to be pondering that one.
Yeah.
That's tough. I don't know why we chose brooms. I would imagine that it influenced J.K. Rowling in writing
Mm.
Harry Potter is that
Yep.
brooms are susceptible to magic flight spells. Oh, I'm gonna have to. We have a lot of naval aviators that listen to this
Yeah.
podcast. I can put out a
Okay.
I can put out a call for them. Hey,
Yeah.
what's the aerodynamic attractiveness of a broom?
Right.
It's a good one.
Yeah, something to ponder. But those
That's
are
a
my
good
shower
one.
thoughts.
I like that. I like that. I'll just go real quick. I'm out on food trucks.
Yeah.
Just all together. Have wanted to say that for a long time. It feels good to get it off my chest,
Mm.
Callie.
The food
Not a
truck,
food truck guy.
like the truck part of it.
The
'Cause
truck
the food
part of
could
it.
be amazing.
Yeah, it can be.
But it's not
just
worth it to you because it's in a truck.
Here's the problem with food trucks. 9 times out of 10, and there's the diamond in the rough, and I've been to some that I really, really enjoy. The parking situation,
Mm.
the food service situation, the food quality, the seating areas, and the temperature. I don't like eating outside when it's 100 degrees out
Or when it's really cold.
or when it's really cold. Now, the sweet spots in Austin are like 3 out of 365 days to sit outside, be comfortable, and get food from a food truck.
Fair.
So it comes down a lot to that. I don't trust the sanitary quality of food trucks. There's a lot of critters that can get in there
Yeah.
outside, flies,
Mm.
and usually it's involved. You're kind of serving yourself. There's a lot, prices are always up because the food's more expensive because they have to store it. And
The
I
sanitary.
don't know.
Yeah.
There's something about food trucks. Are you familiar with the word skeevy? Like, it's kind of skeevy to me. Just the
Yeah.
whole. I appreciate the people doing their thing. They're not there yet, ready to have a full brick and mortar restaurant, and it's the cheaper option. They just want to make good food for people, and I appreciate that. But there's something about the experience that just kind of gives me the shivers.
So you think if a food truck just like moved into a restaurant, you would like it more?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
If they just had a brick and mortar store that I could sit in air conditioning and have a drink and watch a TV, like I'm down with it.
Okay.
I would never know the difference. But the food truck idea in general, I don't know, something about it skews me out. I couldn't tell you what it is, and I think that's just a me problem.
I feel like the positives to food trucks though are they're normally like in a I don't know, in like a food truck park, I guess, and there's a bunch of different ones so you can kind of get like one thing from one place, one thing from another, and then dessert from this one. So it kind of gives you the
Mhm.
options to pick and choose and do kind of like a mukbang, I guess.
Sure, I think with me too, I'm not a huge amusement park fan.
Mm.
Because it's just like walking around in the middle of the summer on asphalt is like my worst nightmare, actually. And so I think that's influencing my food truck
So you don't like
dislike.
Six Flags or
No.
anything like that?
Nope.
No.
I'm all set.
Don't like
All
roller
set.
coasters or the amusement
Love
park
roller
itself?
coasters.
But you
Don't
would
like
sacrifice
the
you would sacrifice not going on roller coasters
Correct.
because you don't want to go to the park.
the act of like parking, the heat, the walk. Like I just a lot of stuff I just don't like about it.
Okay.
The people like running around, the cleanliness. There's just a lot that I am
Yeah.
kind of gives me the shivers on with amusement parks
Mm.
and fairs and carnivals, and just hate fun.
You just hate fun.
I would rather be, but like Worst Fest, I would have loved to go to Worst Fest. Like it's a big field, like, you know, you're
I
kind
feel
of,
like it's very similar to other.
yeah,
I don't know.
I think it is. It just, there's something, maybe like walking around on grass to me feels different than walking around on like concrete and asphalt. Couldn't tell you why.
So if they just put like turf down, you'd be fine.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I hate fun, Randy.
He hates amusement.
I hate
Hates
amusement. That's going to do it, Calli, for us on the mail-in today. Thank you for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you for having
Sally
me.
will be back next week. Please subscribe, rate the podcast 5 stars, review, and tell a friend about the show. Hit the hotline number 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast. Calli, where can the people find you?
On Instagram at Calli Rubin or Twitter at Calli Rubin1.
There you go.
That's about it for my socials.
There you go. I am at Merriman on both of those platforms. You can also find Calli writing on washmedia.com.
Yep.
Shouts to those columns. And hopefully maybe one next week.
Yeah.
Perfect. Randy, thank you. Adam, thank you. We'll see you guys next week.